Okay, I think this is part 4, so I'm just going to pick up where I left off. Yeah, I changed my... Yeah, hang on, I was just seeing if my camera was running. It is. Yeah, I changed my approach after nearly getting arrested. I made sure not to bend over anymore in front of people. And I made sure that, I didn't go to my hometown. A lot of times I would go to other cities. Although I did go to my hometown some when I did it. By the way, I'm wearing cocoa pantyhose for this video. Yeah, I went to other cities when I did it, is what I told him. And he hears this, that I've been going around cross-dressing since that time I almost got arrested and doing it in other cities. This was some juicy information for him. I mean, he was a big gossiper and he couldn't help himself. And when he actually gave me a ride back home, and I'm thinking, I think I just messed up. Telling him all that. He's going to tell everybody about that. And we're going to have to go through that all over again. And this is, in 2000. August 2000. Over 4 years after that incident where I almost got arrested. Cross-dressed in town. Or it was about 4 years later. Maybe not quite. Well, yeah, after about a month or two, one afternoon my brother comes down to the house, my mom and dad's house, the same one who was asking me questions about what happened in 96. I thought maybe I'd got away with it in 96, but on Thanksgiving Day he comes and started asking me questions about it, telling me that it's all over the community about what I'd done, almost getting arrested and dragged. And what had happened, now this is in 2000, about 4 years later, he tells me that this relative had been going around saying things about me, and this is after our little talk in his office at the fire department. My brother said he's going around telling people that now you cross-dress and you go around cross-dressed in other cities, besides your hometown here. And I said, well, no, I did talk to him, but I told my brother, I said, yeah, I talked to him and all, but I lied, said, I don't know what he's talking about there. So actually I told the story, I told a fib, because I did tell him I went around other cities and cross-dressed, and it was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that, at least not if I was trying to be in the closet, stay in the closet, but I just denied it. When my brother asked me about that, I just denied it. I didn't tell him the truth. I was a liar in that situation, because I did go to other cities cross-dressed. My mistake was just telling it to a guy who was a known gossiper and blabbed it all over. That was my fault. But I just tried to deny it. And my older brother, he said, well, I hope you're not doing that. That'd really bring shame to our family. That's what he said. And then, it kind of, all those rumors started spreading all over again. And I had a friend who heard about those rumors. And he kind of quit having anything to do with me for years. Because he'd heard that in 96 and he kind of let it slide. He took me at face value when I told him that it was just for, a gag, just to see what kind of reaction I could get. But when he heard that again in 2000 about me, he quit having anything to do with me for a while. Now, we've since kind of got back together and we hang out every now and again. And he doesn't know about my wearing pantyhose. I haven't told him. He doesn't know about my YouTube channel. If he did, he'd probably disown me. And I haven't told him. Some people know that I wear pantyhose, and some people I just haven't told. Because really, it's none of their business. And I don't think any of those people are going to be watching my channel, YouTube channel, or my videos. But yeah, after I told my relative at the fire department at that time, in 2000, that now I go around cross-dressed in other cities, as opposed to my hometown and all that. Yeah, he spread that story around, and the rumor started up again about me being a cross-dresser. And the thing about it, when I got busted in 96 and almost got arrested, and everybody found out about it because of some gossiping people like my cousin at the fire department. Well, he is like my second cousin. And then my cousin at the that worked as a policeman in the city. And then another relative of mine who worked at the jail. You know, they spread that all around back then. And as much as that was being spread around, little stories about me, amazingly, my mom and dad never heard about it. There's some of the few people that didn't. And my older brother told me that, they said, look, see, I told my older brother I was just doing it as a gag, you know, just as a, you know, just for shock value, see what kind of reaction I could get from those women that night in town that I was cross-dressed, that I was going around cross-dressed. And he said, well, if mom and dad finds out about it, just tell them what you told me. Tell them what you told me. And he said, I'm not going to tell anybody that, I'm not going to tell mom and dad, but if they say anything, just tell them what you told me. So my mom and dad never found out about it. You know, and I forgot to mention that in the previous video, the previous talk, I forgot to mention that little detail. And my mom and dad never found out about it. But now when I admitted all this stuff to my relative, my cousin, at the fire department in 2000, it started spreading around again. Those stories started making the rounds again about me, you know, being a cross-dresser and just doing it in different cities. And it was getting told around. And my parents didn't hear about it initially, because my older brother, he wasn't going to squeal on me. He told me, but he